I stood in the middle of the kitchen, hands trembling, the letter in my grip crumpling with every passing second. The silence around me was deafening. My eyes scanned the cold, lifeless words again. I'm sorry, Lila. I can't do this anymore. Please don't try to find me. Daniel. My husband had vanished, taking with him our savings, the car, the house keys, and apparently, his love. 6 years of marriage, gone with a two-line note. I checked the bank account again, praying it was a mistake. Balance, $2.13. I dropped onto the chair, feeling every breath escape my lungs like I'd been punched in the chest. The rent was due in 3 days. I had no job. Daniel didn't want me working, claiming he wanted me to focus on building a future together. What a joke. My eyes stung. I didn't know what to do or who to call. My family hadn't spoken to me in years, ever since I married Daniel against their advice. My friends had slowly disappeared too. I had no one, except Aaron, Daniel's older brother, the one who always looked at me like he knew something I didn't, the one who'd warned me about his brother's charm and carelessness, though he never said it with cruelty. We hadn't spoken since Christmas, but in that moment, I swallowed my pride and found his number buried in my contacts. The line rang twice. Lila, he answered, sounding surprised and concerned. I broke down, unable to stop the tears. I need help. Aaron arrived in less than 2 hours. He found me curled up on the couch in the half-empty apartment, surrounded by bags of unpaid bills and unopened mail. His tall frame moved through the space like he was trying not to break anything already broken. He sat beside me, gently brushing hair from my face. What happened? I handed him the note. His jaw clenched as he read it. Unbelievable, he muttered. He left you like this? With nothing? I nodded. I'm taking you home. Where? I asked, voice hoarse. My place, he said. Just until we figure something out. Aaron's apartment was everything Daniel wasn't. Neat, warm, and filled with soft light and real books. He made me tea, gave me one of his hoodies to wear, and let me cry in peace. I stayed in his guest room, but every night I'd find myself awake, staring at the ceiling, unable to process everything. One night I found him in the living room, working on his laptop. You okay? He asked softly. No, I whispered, not even close. He stood and opened his arms. I walked into them like it was the most natural thing in the world. Over the next few weeks, Aaron helped me piece my life back together. He got me an interview at the design firm where he worked as a project director. I'd studied graphic design in college, but never used it. Daniel didn't believe in creative careers. Aaron did. You're talented, he said after looking at my old sketches. Let the world see it. I got the job. I moved into a small studio apartment nearby, but I kept finding excuses to visit Aaron. We had dinners, went grocery shopping, and sometimes just talked for hours. He listened, not to respond, but to understand. One night I asked, why are you helping me like this? His eyes met mine, and there was something raw in his voice when he said, because I should have said something sooner. I should have stopped you from marrying my brother. I knew who he was. You couldn't have changed my mind, I whispered. Maybe not, he said, brushing a tear from my cheek, but I can be here now. It was a rainy evening when everything changed. We were on his couch watching some old comedy and sharing popcorn. I laughed at something stupid he said and turned to look at him. He wasn't laughing. He was staring at me. What? I asked, suddenly shy. He leaned in slowly. Lila, he said, his voice low, almost trembling. Tell me to stop. I didn't. Our kiss was soft, hesitant, but full of everything unspoken between us. I pulled away first, heart racing. This feels wrong, I said. No, he replied. What Daniel did to you was wrong. This feels like the first right thing in a long time. We didn't fall in love in a day. It was quiet moments, like how he brought me lunch at work, or held my hand when I saw Daniel's name pop up in my inbox with a hollow apology. Aaron never said I told you so. He just stayed, was broken